Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're literally going to show you how you can take what we just taught you and on LinkedIn, and how I use the system, and Dennis is using the system for Small Biz Dream.
Yep.
And how you can combine the two and how the two systems work together.
Correct.
Okay, because I think it's really important to know that there is automation out there. The great thing about Hour a Day, completely free.
Yep.
Free forever.
Free for up to 2,000 communications per month. So
Yep.
you'd have to have an awful large LinkedIn group being tracked and communicated with through Hour a Day before you had to pay.
With 4,500 connections, I don't have 2,000 communications a month through my LinkedIn account.
Exactly.
It would still be free if I was just using
That's correct.
the LinkedIn account.
That's right.
So
you're not sending something to everyone every day.
No, you're not. And remember,
months go by before you send them something.
no, and you don't require a credit card to set it up.
No.
You know, I mean, it's literally you need to use more. If you get over it, then you just purchase
forever.
more.
Our goal
more
is
credits.
to make you so good at what you're doing that you become big enough that eventually you need more than 2,000 communications a month, and then you'll pay us $29.99 a month to get more. That's our whole hidden secret. That's the reason we give it for free to most people that'll never ever have a team big enough to need to pay.
And as a team leader, if you're on this call, you probably got a team that you think, wow, this is great. I can share this now with my downline. There's some great features on the Hour a Day system that let you mentor your downline and your people, so you can see their contacts. You can help them with this. The tool, like I said, was designed by MLMers.
For MLMers.
For MLMers. So
that's how I built my $1 million income. I used a really, really rudimentary version of this that I built myself. And yes, it worked. There
you go. So let's share with everybody if you're interested now in seeing that. So for our second part, let's get into how it all kind of ties together. So if you already have an Hour a Day system, you can log into it right now and go and put it on a side screen.
Good.
And you can follow along with us, or just we've got a pretty good presentation here that let you follow through
step by step.
So you just quickly log in, put in your username, put in your password, enter that 4-digit captcha code.
Yep.
That's right, and click the login button. And now at the same time,
go log into LinkedIn.
So you got to have two different windows going here, everybody. Two different tabs.
I know it's hard.
Log into LinkedIn. Okay, so now your LinkedIn account is set up. So those are two things you got to be in. Now, once again, you want to find your prospect. So I know this
LinkedIn.
This is LinkedIn first.
Going to find a prospect that's worth being tracked in Hour a Day.
As we said in the first half, easier to build close to home.
Always.
So that's why we say use your city in MLM. Doesn't matter how you do it. We're showing you again and just repeating New York, MLM, New York, and you're going to find somebody. Now, this is where we're going to stop you.
That's right.
Because when I went through the first part of how to use LinkedIn, that was if you had just a generic system.
And maybe you were using Microsoft Excel to track everything and cut and paste and whatever, or you were just doing it out of your brain, in which case you probably got tired of that real fast.
And that's really tough. So this is something new for me, everybody. So I understand. That's why I'm excited. So stop at this point, and now you need to let Hour a Day take control.
Yeah.
And I'm excited about what this can really do. So log into your Hour a Day, and then you're going to click your calls and contacts button and your add a contact button, or just click the little plus button up there.
Whichever you're comfortable
with. That's right. So you can do 2 clicks through one. So hit the plus button. That's a lot easier. And you're going to put in the name. So the person that we were looking at was Samantha.
Yes.
So we put in Samantha's first name. Now, all you need for LinkedIn really to be able to follow up in this pre-prospecting, this pre-connection phase is a first name, a last name, and you're going to subscribe them to the LinkedIn Pre-Connect series.
Correct.
Really easy. Oh, by the way, we've designed all these series for you, so you can upload the corporate series that are available.
You can use our stuff.
Already made it. All you do is
just use it.
Yeah. So you log into that and you set them to that, and then you click the quick add button.
And now you've added a contact.
Boom. Now Samantha is in the system.
She's in the contact management system, and she's been added to the LinkedIn Pre-Connection series.
There you go. So
what does that mean? Where do we find her? What do we do?
Well, let's find out what that means. So let's click on the
action list.
Action list there, a little check mark tells you action list. And let's find her. Look, there she is, and she got a LinkedIn logo right beside her. What does that mean, Dennis?
Holy smokes. That means that she's in a LinkedIn series in your social tasks, and you'll see that it says LinkedIn Pre-Connect 2 of 3. And that's only because we actually have an annual follow-up that starts to happen, which takes position 1. So she's actually she's in your first message. This is the first time we're going to request her connect with us.
There you go. So what we're going to do with her, we're going to take action.
We're going to take action.
So instead of where we did before, we took action on LinkedIn at the beginning. We're now going to take action first an hour a day.
That's correct.
All right. So we click that, and all of a sudden, wow, there's the first message. Remember I said we need that custom message that you're going to send?
So this is not the custom part.
No.
This is the generic 80% that you're now going to go and add your first sentence to before you hit the copy button to then paste that message into your LinkedIn message box.
So I'd be putting their name in here so that they know that. Hello, Samantha. I see we have some common connections.
You know, that's
and
our bad. We could have actually started that and put a macro in, so that part was already there. We didn't write the communication very well. We could have done better. We'll fix it.
Yeah, I could have put it. There's a macro that'll do that.
Yeah,
could definitely do that. But say, what is the common, like we're connected to such and such and such and such, or we have this interest in this. Remember I said skincare and MLM. What do we have in common?
Semi-automation.
Right. So I wanted to connect to see how we might be able to help each other. Done. So this is where you do it. And once you customize that yourself, click the copy button.
Well, hang on one sec. Let's also take a look at the fact that there's this little open button right here beside Samantha. So you got Samantha last name and an open button. Actually, if you click that open button, it'll actually log you. It'll open up your LinkedIn. And if you're logged in, you'll just be right in there and able to literally just search for Samantha. And so it'll open that as well as copy your name so you can paste it into the search and push go.
There you go.
And then you can come back to this page, hit copy to click the message. So it's all just made to be as few clicks as humanly possible to make this action occur.
So now once you're copied, it's time to connect with Samantha.
Yes.
Back on LinkedIn. So now you get back into your LinkedIn account and click the connect button. And then as we talked about before, you're going to get the drop-down menu, how you've done business, choose your company, and then you're going to paste in the note that you were told to copy from hour a day. You're going to hit Control V and you're going to paste it right in there. Nice and simple.
Yep.
Now you don't have to think about it. It's done.
Because you already customized it before you copied it.
Right.
The work is done.
Done. And then you're going to send the invitation. Once again, don't do this unless you're prepared to have the time to follow up and respond to instant responses that you get. Now, once you've done that, you're going to do one more thing back in your hour day. So get back into your hour day. So you've sent the message out in LinkedIn. Now you're back in your hour day and you click, oh, I sent the message. That was hard.
That was it.
That's it. You're done.
And this is the key for the system to take you off the list. So notice now Samantha's not here. And Samantha's set, because of the way we set the system up, that in 7 days, we're going to try and reconnect with her. I think 7 days or 30 days. Anyways, in a bunch of days, she's going to pop back up on this list if she hasn't connected back.
Yeah. In this particular case, we set up the series and we'll share what that series looks like.
We're going to do that right now.
If you haven't seen it in 7 days, it's going to come up.
Yep.
All right. And you'll be able to then try again and send her another message the same way. So let's show you how these campaigns look. Okay. So click on campaign.
Yep.
And then edit campaigns. And that's going to bring you up to your initial emails and your email campaign / social media campaign.
So this is all of the email campaigns, your LinkedIn campaigns, your Facebook campaigns. This is all of your autoresponders, but not email autoresponders. Autoresponders, direct messaging, automated follow-up. So this is a really, really cool function that everything behaves differently depending on what kind of series you say you're creating.
Right. So you scroll all the way down to the bottom, you're going to see we have 3 LinkedIn series that we set up here for this demonstration. We have the LinkedIn Pre-Connect series, the LinkedIn MLM Post-Connect, and the LinkedIn Product Post-Connect. So it all depends on when you're starting. Where do we put the person in the beginning? We're in the Pre-Connect series. So that's what we added Samantha to.
That's right.
When we first put her in and copied and pasted. That's the Pre-Connect series. So let's look at what those series are. So you can see LinkedIn First Connection Request, LinkedIn 6-month connection retry, and then after 6 months, if they haven't connected with you every year, they're going to pop back. Samantha's going to pop back up,
and you're going to decide if it's worth considering to, still pursuing Samantha.
Right. So I mean, if they were, and so it just reminds you.
It's all about timing. In MLM, it's all about timing. It can be 3 years before someone finally comes your way or is ready. So if you can just be top of mind or just keep pestering them in a respectful and not overwhelming way, there's a very good chance that the timing's right for them. They'll accept your connection. Go, gosh darn it, this guy keeps popping up every now and then. You might even be thinking, how do you do it?
So if you want to edit that connection request, you click the little edit button right there, and that'll bring you can see there's the LinkedIn first connection request. I see we have common interests. Notice that's what we copied and pasted.
Exactly.
This is exactly where you can go and customize this to make it appropriate for your specific company.
Yep.
All right. This is the 6-month email. That's the next one. Hey there. 6 months ago, I asked you to connect, but it seems the timing wasn't right for you. Thought I'd try again. We do have quite a bit in common, and I thought we might be able to help each other.
And it's worth taking, again, the extra few seconds. And if you've done your job right, you already put a note that gave you the common connection, so you don't have to go search your profile for it. It'll be right there in your contact manager. But anyways, you'd come here and you'd make sure that things in common like this and like that. Again, the second you save costs you at the other end because you don't make legit connections. So you spend a few seconds to always do that semi-automated, semi-customized version of it.
Right, and this is where you can put in macros in here too. So you can put in a CF name macro, so it would automatically populate that for you. Nice and simple. And this is the annual one. Hey there, I know that we tried to connect with you in the past, not been successful. My LinkedIn connection can grow year after year, and I'd be happy to share my connections with you. It just brings it up, reminds you didn't connect.
Back in their face.
Maybe it's worth it. And if you don't like it, you just take them out of the series. It's done. It doesn't matter.
You may decide you want to give up on them, in which case you take them out, you never talk to them. Right. They may decide to tell you to just go away.
So it's up to you. Now, let's say this happens. Now, I go into my social tasks when I log in, and I see Tom Jones is there. But Tom Jones has already replied to me.
Which you may not know, because sometimes that happens and you're busy and you forgot. So let's say this comes up telling you that you need to try again to pre-connect with Tom Jones. And then we click take action. But we realize that, well, hang on a second. As I copy Tom Jones and search for him in my LinkedIn, I find out that we have actually connected. And I forgot about him. Well, now, of course, you got a bit of a problem. You need to get him out of this pre-connection series and get him into whatever series he's supposed to be in so you can reestablish the communication. This is exactly the power of the system. I forgot about a guy. He's languishing. It just reminded you needed to do something. That triggered you to only be 7 days late, and now you get to take action. And you'll actually see we've made this really easy, because this is one of the most common things that happens, and that is that we need to transfer a series. So I can actually pull the product post connect. So now we've determined that we already had a communication that I forgot to record. So I come in and I say, okay, well, I yank them out. So I'm going to transfer them out of the current series, which is pre-connect, and into the product post connect, all with 2 buttons.
There you go.
And now I've done my job, and he's now in the right series.
So as you click transfer series, that's been done. And then he's transferred into the correct series. And you can see now he's in the MLM post connect series.
2 of 5.
There you go.
Right. So this is sort of how it closes the loop. You've got your, you've got your pre-connections, then they become a connection, and then you can follow up with them. And the more you use this, well, and here's Tom Jones, right? So now we're talking about, thank you for accepting me into your network. Always great to connect. And the neat part is, if that's not appropriate based upon where you were at, you have the opportunity right now to just wipe that out, completely customize it to be appropriate, and hit copy and send it. And now you're back on track. Everything's recorded in Tom Jones' record for you to know what's going on.
Yeah.
And he's still in a series to be reminded again whenever this series would have reminded again. So it's always going to force you to pick the conversation back up. Yeah. And you can decide at that point if you just hit skip the message because you don't need to.
You can do that.
Or I've sent the message because you want it to actually go out of rotation and take you to the next message. So you can skip the message. You can say, I've sent the message. You can unsubscribe them right there with one touch. You can go, holy crap, I need to talk to this guy. Well, then you do the follow-up in 1 day, or you even follow up in 7 days, and that's going to actually now put them on your call list. So on top of social media follow-up, you now know that you need to have a phone call. So this is just super powerful. Once you get that engagement, just make sure that you don't lose it.
Yeah, everything that you need. And the best part is that Our Day can do this same thing with any social media platform.
Yeah, because it's really just it's a way of thinking. And we try to keep on top of the various social media platforms that it's feasible to use to make them as automated as we can. The difficulty is, of course, LinkedIn has no interest in us automating LinkedIn. They don't want that happening, so they don't allow it by API. Facebook, same thing. So most of your social media platforms don't allow much API connection, which is why this semi-automated use our system for tracking it becomes the ultimate way, because no one can cut you off because you're not actually connected. You're not doing anything wrong. You're just using their system. You just have a brain behind you keeping in control. It's kind of like being able to count cards in poker, I guess.
There you go.
Cards in blackjack.
And so if you don't have the system already, how do you get it? Well, go, first of all, you can get any of the tools that we have available. So download the app and some of the other great prospecting tools at twt.bz/tools, or get the app itself at, so free forever, up to 2,000 contacts at twt.bz/HAD, stands for hour a day. So write those down. And wow, we got through a lot of information there, Dennis. And we did that
faster than I thought we would. I thought we should have added more. We could have had more content.
We could have more, but you know what? We got a lot of stuff for people there to be able to digest and to get. But the fact remains is using the systems, once it's set up for you, you only have to set it up once.
Well, and here's a dirty little secret about it. Once you've actually set it up and you've worked through your way and your communications, maybe modified ours to fit, at that point, you could have your 14-year-old son do this for you for an hour a day. And all you need to do is answer the phones to take the connections. Once this is set up, you're getting to the point where your skills are needed without your skills being needed to get to the point where your skills are needed. This becomes systemized. Imagine having 1,000 connections tracked by hour a day and a to-do list of 35 people to simply cut and paste some messages to and add a little bit of customization. How does that compare to what you're doing now? Oh, right, I got to talk to this guy. What should I type? Oh, gosh, oh, gosh, oh, gosh. Everything's fast. Everything's faster. Everything's tracked, and you never forget. And your kids could do it for you. You could hire someone to do it. You could get a personal assistant to do it, preferably in your time zone, because you don't want a personal assistant reaching out in the middle of the night and then getting all your your connections happening, and you can't call them in real time. Right? Yeah. So yeah, it turns it into a simple process instead of one that takes a whole bunch of skill to do.
Yeah. So, you know, and it really is that simple. You can use it for LinkedIn. Other ones, obviously, you can use this for Facebook.
Yep.
Same thing. Now you'll be sending out Facebook messages as you're connecting. You're gonna have a wider variety, I think, of connections. And then you've got friends and family and things involved there. So, you know, use the appropriate messages for the appropriate social media platform.
That's right.
You know, Google Plus, another one you can use. You know, really, you know, it's really simple. Twitter. I mean, you know, you can sit out there.
We have a whole function to help you manage your Twitter account. Let's just hope they come back and be meaningful again soon.
Yeah, I mean, you know, you actually, the Twitter API allows you to literally log into a day and be directly in your Twitter account. You don't even have to log into Twitter. That's all done automatically. So the semi-automation, hit a button and the tweets go out from our day and record it.
Yeah, it's much more efficient. But unfortunately, I don't know if it's where I'd spend my effort. And it kills me to say that, but I don't know that I'd spend my effort trying to prospect on Twitter at this point. It is just home of robot after robot after robot.
Yeah.
LinkedIn is probably the finest sharpshooting you can do. Facebook is complicated. People on Facebook don't want to be talked to about business, so they complain about spam more. On LinkedIn, you're expecting it to be business. You're kind of okay as long as the approach is professional, which is why if you jump on people and you don't follow our advice and you jump on them, hey, are you going to join my MLM? Or you should see this, make $1 million, blah, 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 expect to be banned.
And
it's not what it's for.
We've got a few extra minutes here, so I just want to talk about some of the things about LinkedIn that I found that work and some of the things that don't. Mm-hmm. And this is where the semi-automation can really help keep you focused to do the right things by using the system instead of trying to get out there and, you know, kind of, you know, using a shotgun approach where you're going to spray everything and see what's going to come out. So one of the things that I think is the most important is that your profile is up to date.
Yes.
Okay. So often I see profiles that haven't been touched, that don't make any sense, that don't even have any information about your MLM company on that. And I mean, I get the psychology behind it. You don't want somebody to prejudge your company before they come and join you, but they're gonna find out what MLM you're in,
and then they're gonna think you're a liar because you hit. So you don't win with that approach. You're scared that they might not join you in MLM if you tell them it's an MLM. Doesn't that already sound crazy? Right? They're going to figure it out. So if they don't like it from the beginning, somehow if you lie to them, they're going to like it more when they find out.
You know,
not usually.
And there's still a lot of people that are in MLM that don't put the company that are representing. Now, I personally have an issue with that because it tells me one of two things. Okay, it tells me you're not proud of the company that you're with, or you're with a seasoned company that you think everybody knows about and has an opinion about, and you're not proud of that fact. If I was with a seasoned company, if I was at Amway, I want people to know I'm proud that I'm with it. And why should they join me in my company? And here are my reasons why.
Well, because the reality is, even with as ubiquitous as Amway is, I bet you anything, if you go talk to 20 people on the road, at least 5 of them are like, what's that? I mean, we're in our industry. We're close to our industry. We think that everybody knows about MLM. Most people don't know what MLM means.
Right.
They think of it as a pyramid scheme, whatever it is, doesn't matter. But to be so naive as to think that by putting your company name on your LinkedIn profile is going to make people not interested, I can tell you most of the people on your profile don't have any idea what it is. Amway might be the only exception where I can say there might be enough name recognition to where you're going to have people prejudge you. But the rest of them, I just don't think you're going to get prejudged on the company name.
Excuse me. And so that's one of the things. The second thing, if you don't put your company up, I think you're involved in multiple companies.
Absolutely. So you're hoping that when someone finally says they're interested, you can open up your jacket and go, which watch would you like?
Yeah. So that's what it tells me if your profile isn't up to date or you're hiding it. And my biggest turn off is when you use we already talked about, some weird vernacular to
I'm a second income specialist.
Yeah. You know, that you're
I'm a lifestyle engineer.
Yeah. And I know that some of you have been taught that. Many people have been taught that.
I was taught that in my first university, my first MLM university. I was taught that. And at the time, I thought it was the coolest idea ever.
Yeah.
It's not.
How'd that work for you?
It's not. It's not cool. It's not cool at all.
It's not. So, I mean, I specifically tell people, the name of my company first. You don't need to say that what company are you in? I am in XYZ company. You don't need to say I'm an independent distributor of such and such.
And even if you do, say that. Don't say I'm a IBO or a API or a BRB or whatever company lingo crap you have. Say something that a person who isn't in your culture can understand.
Yeah.
I'm an independent distributor with Amway. I'm a whatever. I'm a member of Amway. Whatever it is, but don't use the IBOs and the IBAs and the ERPs and the BRBs and the
Yeah. So use everyday speak. Be proud of your company.
Be proud,
right?
Or find one you're proud about.
And then and that should be on your LinkedIn profile. Now, on your LinkedIn profile, put all the links to the things that you want, especially if you're using Hour a Day. Have a link to the sales funnel, the prospecting system. Have a link to your corporate website. Have a link to articles and product information.
Yes.
And have your resume. Have everything that I personally would want to search for and find out about you and your company. Have that all available if I want to go and click on it. Because it's not, this is your resume.
Yes.
So you're not pushing and selling or convincing me. If I go into your profile, I want to know more about you. Please give me the information that I want. Don't make me hunt you down because I'm not going to do it.
That's right.
Right. I just, if I spend a couple of minutes and I can't figure out what company you're in, I disconnect from you.
Yeah.
Because if you're not proud of the company you're in and you're not willing to show it on LinkedIn, there's a lot of people that are in MLM companies, and I see this a lot with MLM professionals, and I'm not knocking you. Actually, I am. You put in the name of the company that I'm XYZ Productions or Enterprises. You put your own name, consulting, and you've been doing that for 18 years. Okay, I see this all the time. I've been 18 years with Craig Peloquin distribution. 18 years.
Right.
Craig, you've been in 17,000 MLM companies and you don't want to put them all. So you just been saying you're the same guy. You've just been in a bunch of different companies.
That's right.
So, I mean, you have to understand what we read between the lines on your LinkedIn profile.
And it's not that hard. Go read 10 LinkedIn profiles and see what you think of those people, and then stop doing the same thing. It's not that hard.
Use a professional photo.
Oh yeah, don't put a picture of your dog on LinkedIn. You shouldn't even do that on Facebook. But if you're going to do that somewhere, don't do it on LinkedIn. Have a professional headshot done. Even if it costs you $50, get a nice photo headshot done for LinkedIn. Don't put your company logo. Put your headshot so people can connect with you as a human.
Yeah, so important. And these are little things. Most companies that are on LinkedIn, if you register it correctly in what company you're with, the company logo will show up in your company history of places you've been, so they can click on that logo. If you're not doing things properly, they won't show up. There's just little things that make it look like you know what you're doing on LinkedIn. If you've got an empty profile and you haven't got any skills, you haven't updated any skills, and you haven't put where you went to school, and these things are really important.
Because remember, it's not one-sided. If you have a profile that's that badly managed, it's because your intention is to get onto LinkedIn and go and pound other people to be interested in what you're doing. The problem is you don't have a profile to be interested in. So you're not going to have any luck, because as soon as you ask them to connect, they look at your profile, they know what you're about. They're going to report you for spam. They're not going to deal with you because you're not interesting. You're not mutually beneficial to them. It's obvious that you're just trying to use them instead of actually do, like you said, which was form a meaningful relationship.
Some of the things that turn me off, if there's no photo, I do not connect. Okay. Yeah. If you don't have a photo or you have a photo of a logo, so we talked about that, I don't connect with you at all. If you just put, I'm in the United States, and you don't tell me where you are in the United States, what are you hiding?
That's right. People. Who are you hiding from?
You know what? Put your city, put your state, put where you're from. Okay, I mean, I want to know who you are.
I want to know that you're a real person before I waste time on you personally.
I mean, that's just the whole thing. I put as much information to contact me as possible. I put my Twitter out there. I'll put my Facebook. I'll put my my LinkedIn. I put my Google Plus. I put my phone number. I think it is really important. Wouldn't it be great if you actually got phone calls from people you didn't know,
interested in what you're doing because they were on your profile?
But yet we hide our phone number. We don't put it on there.
The only thing that I really recommend that you don't put on there is if you happen to live, well, even if your address.
Yeah.
I wouldn't go so far as to put my house number or my unit number. You know, I mean, I'll put my address as 33 Smythe Street, but I don't specify my unit because then there's 275 places that I could be in. So, you know, you also want to be a bit careful about internet security and safety. So you want to give as much detail as possible, but also be careful that detail isn't sort of overexposing you. So let's meter that with, don't give your exact mailing address. You know, if you want to give your street name, I would personally probably stop at my city. I
agree with you on
that.
Maybe
my neighborhood, right? I would probably say Yaletown. I wouldn't stop at Vancouver. I'd say I'm in Yaletown because that means something to anyone else who knows where Yaletown is, right?
Yeah.
So, you know, be careful with some of that. You know, you can overexpose yourself, but you definitely need to be a real human.
Yeah. So just a few little tips that, you know, what's worked for me. Like I said, I'd never used LinkedIn until I got involved with it 3 years ago with the company I happen to be in now. It was a prerequisite. I fought it. I kicked, I screamed. I didn't want to do, I mean, I already had other social media platforms. I didn't want to learn something new, but I tell you one thing, the reason that I'm able to use it effectively is that I started using LinkedIn without knowing anything about it. And I built LinkedIn based on old school MLM principles of connecting with somebody, picking up the phone, and actually making a true connection.
And it's completely true, because I've been using LinkedIn for years before he ever started on it, and he's the one who ultimately taught me how to use it for business. I just used it like I used Facebook. It was a place to post automatic from Hootsuite. Never thought much about it. Never saw it as a prospecting ground because I was an IT guy and I already had all of this stuff that I knew how to do. So I was blind to what you picked up because you had no idea. You just started
using it. And what I've really found over the past is that at least on a monthly basis, now you might want to try to do it, you know, bi-weekly, weekly is the best. You want to be publishing articles on LinkedIn.
Yes.
Okay. Articles on LinkedIn get you noticed, they get moved around. It starts allowing you to become more of an influencer. It makes you a real person. And even if it's just an expert, maybe on the active ingredient in your product line, maybe it's an expert on MLM and something about it, and you do a little bit about how to build your MLM generically, on how to, on tips and tricks of doing that.
Maybe it's an expert on Tai Chi. The reality is become an expert in something so that people interested in that something come around you to read what you have written, and a percentage of them, no matter what, will become interested in the other things you're doing because you have the common interest of the thing you're the expert in. So remember, becoming an expert doesn't mean just necessarily about something to do with your company or product.
Right.
Just be an expert. Be the guy that's always posting something interesting about a topic, and that will create friends. Mm-hmm. Friends can sometimes turn into prospects that can turn into customers and or distributors.
Now let's talk about the rabbit hole.
Yes.
There is a rabbit hole on LinkedIn.
Yes.
And that in MLM is all these wonderful little MLM groups that you think you're going to post once there and you're going to get those 25,000 people going to join you all because you got the best MLM out there.
No. Worse yet, you believed the post that said, I'm looking for an MLM. Does anyone have one that you can share with me?
That's, by the way, the best reverse prospecting link you can possibly do. If you're going to go on there, that's the way to do it.
Your phone will ring off the hook, but man, you better have hour a day working for you because you got to find a way to sift and sort because it rings off the hook with people that are not qualified to talk to.
So if you're going to get into groups, personally, getting in these MLM groups, and especially the ones that say open prospecting groups, like you're allowed to prospect. I mean, really, think about what that means. There's 30,000 people in this group all trying to do the you show me yours, I'll show you mine routine. Did it work in grade 3?
No.
Maybe once. But really, folks, it doesn't work.
It doesn't work.
I mean, think about that.
It's a flawed concept.
Are you really going to join anybody else's? Now, if you are legitimately looking and you're not happy with your MLM, you don't need to go to one of those groups. Just put it on your profile.
That's right.
You know what? Looking for a new MLM, looking, for a new opportunity. Guys like me, I search for people that are looking for a new opportunity.
So you'll up your ability to be successful in your next MLM by going that way, because that means someone who knows how to do it will be the one that's finding you.
Well, exactly. Now, also, if you're going to be looking for something new and you think about LinkedIn, think about the professional MLMers that you've connected with. That's why you're making these connections on LinkedIn. Mm-hmm. Who has approached you in the right way? Who has followed up when they said? Who picked up the phone and called you? Who made you feel special, even though you said you were focused? Who didn't try to push, sell, and convince you out of your company and that type of stuff? That's why you want to be that person.
That's right.
Think about it that way, because there's going to be people out there that,
that's your 10-year income boosting plan doing that. You're not going to get them now. It could take 10 years, like it took a friend of mine to get me.
Yeah.
But that's your 10-year income boosting plan. When all those things come to fruition and you're still doing it, you're still the same respectful guy. You never broke the rules. So people will just naturally come to you.
Especially when you stick to one program and you build it. I've been on LinkedIn now with one company for 3 years. Guess what? I've seen people come and go and prospect me in 3 years on a half a dozen different opportunities.
Because I should go join them, Craig, right? Because obviously they're doing really, really well. Yeah. That's why they keep switching companies, right?
Yeah, and every time they switch to something new, I get a message. Oh, Craig, you got to see this.
Man, I didn't have it before, but I have it now.
Yeah. And now, granted, I get a lot of those connections because I'm fair.
Yes.
I'm honest. I don't push, sell, convince. I'm here to help you build your team. Sometimes you don't want to hear our honesty.
No.
I had somebody today that I was talking to, and he didn't want to hear my honesty.
No.
Didn't want to.
No fun.
He was told that there was this prospecting system. He had to find it, that he just push a button and it would build his team for him. And I said, it's out there. It's called a unicorn. Doesn't exist. You find one, kill it. Drag it, because you know what? You cannot get rich that way.
If you could, everyone would be doing it. If there was such a system that you could just pay, hey, if you could pay $10,000 a month to be a guaranteed income earner of $20,000 a month in 2 or 3 years, everyone would do it. So stop looking. It's not there. You got to do the work.
No. And that's why the hour-a-day system works so well for me. Garbage in is garbage out. You're going to not put garbage. You can put garbage in this.
You can.
And it's going to get rid of all the garbage.
Yeah.
That's what I love about Our Day. It's just going to help you sort and sift and find the ones that you're going to use. And I say that with no vested interest in Our Day.
That's right.
It's free. I don't get paid for it. Nothing in it for me. It works really well. I guess I could say I do because my company grows because the leaders and distributors of my company use a system that I know is going to give them success.
Well, and you do get a little bit of input when there's a feature or something that would make your life easier. You know, you do get some upsides.
Well, so do you. You get a little bit of my brain saying I need this feature, and then you go give it to everybody else.
Now, don't go upset the balance.
Well, everybody, we thank you. We're at the top of the hour now, and we did get quite a bit of information. We went a little long now. We were short, and then all of a sudden we got off on tangents.
We got blabby.
Oh, well. So everybody, we'll be back here next week where the first half hour will be some tips and tricks on how to build your MLM. Second half hour will be how to implement that using the Our Day system.
Yep.
So until next week, everybody, have yourselves a fabulous day.
Good night.
Bye for now.